Hi, my name is Austin Makawidi, and today I will be talking about one of New Mexico's grand challenges, that is water sustainability, and how New Mexico's water sustainability issues are deserving of more attention. I believe that with the current information that we have available to us and with the way that trends are going, that water sustainability in New Mexico will become an issue in the future, and it's possible that these issues will be exacerbated and possibly worsen if we don't find a solution uh, or a way to deal with water sustainability so that the state of New Mexico can thrive. But before talking about water with specificity to New Mexico, I thought I would talk about just the general importance of water. That is that water is a crucial resource that humans require to live. If you look at history, where cities tend to form, where civilizations have always thrived, it has always been near water, whether it's fresh water such as rivers or lakes, or any place where there's a good amount of precipitation, or whether it's salt water, or more specifically, navigation along oceans, and once again, navigation along rivers. My point is that water is it's an incredibly important resource that sometimes we might take for granted, and it's important that we know where does our water come from and how much of it do we have. So it would be unfortunate to say that in the United States, New Mexico is the most water stressed state. According to the World Resource Institute, New Mexico is America's most water stressed state. That is, it talks about how much of our water supply and that we can get from underground water, above water aquifers, how much of it do we extract every single year? And with New Mexico specifically, our water stress is incredibly high, with us extracting over 80% of our water supply every single year, the highest in the nation. However, the stresses to do with water do not impact all people the same. Water insecurity in New Mexico impacts indigenous communities disproportionately. And if we take the Navajo Nation, for example, about 30% of residents do not have access to clean, reliable drinking water. And what would be the impacts of such a statistic, that is 30% of residents not having access to water? Because it's more than just dehydration. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the Navajo Nation had one of the highest death rates in the country for COVID-19. And this is partly a product of ongoing water insecurity. Not only is a lack of clean water harmful to people's health, and it causes people to get dehydrated and all of that, but it also makes proper sanitation difficult, which has disastrous consequences during a pandemic. I thought I would mention also that when it comes to water disputes and who gets certain water resources, those who might have more money and more status in society might find an easier time getting rights to water if they have the pockets to do so or whatever. But those who are poor, they might be disproportionately affected by any water issues that come their way, and they don't have the rights, they don't have the monetary resources to fight for what they need and their own resources. Furthermore, I'd also like to talk about New Mexico, and in particular climate change within New Mexico, because the average temperature in New Mexico has increased by more than 3 degrees since the 1970s, which is one of the most drastic temperature increases in the entire United States. Such a rapid increase in temperature is partly responsible for more severe drought conditions that have happened in New Mexico within recent years. And it's caused some water sources that New Mexicans use to evaporate quicker and dry up. Along with that, less agricultural output. Agriculture and food processing made up about 12.3% of New Mexico's gross state product in 2012. With increased droughts, farming and agriculture is becoming more difficult to maintain, which could negatively impact New Mexico's economy, especially in the future. And along with that, disputes with neighboring states and among different people. New Mexico has two main large rivers, the Rio Grande and the Pecos River. Both of these rivers flow into Texas, and given that Texas is a state of 29 million people, one of the largest in the United States, and it has quickly growing demographics and quickly growing industries, there is a possibility for future disputes with water, and in particular, the two main rivers of New Mexico. So one thing that will need to be sorted out is how we can share our water resources with Texas while still having enough water for ourselves, which we already here in New Mexico have issues with water sustainability. Having to share with Texas, it could cause problems in the future, given how quickly Texas is growing in relation to New Mexico. So that is the end of my presentation. I'm hoping that maybe if there is a possible solution to the ways in which New Mexico can solve its water issues, then we can hopefully have a bright future. But as of right now, water resources and sustainability is proving to be an issue within New Mexico, and it might make thriving in New Mexico more difficult. It might make New Mexico's ability to thrive as a state more difficult and deal with issues in the future. Thank you.